You know what, Sean?
He's like, you have.
I have not been.
You know, I would have been listening to it.
I think you would have fallen.
Yeah. We'll edit this out.
Welcome to the Clientele Experience, courtesy of TrustITrust.com, my very own website. And the focus of the first episode is a crochet faux lock installation. And my client is from Brooklyn. Big up Brooklyn, you already know. But he has natural hair and a TWA. And you guys are going to see firsthand how I educate, execute, and slay. I'm super passionate about this. And so, of course, the first step is an in-depth consultation.
My friend here, he has, I would say type 4 hair. It's thick, he's growing it out. It is very healthy in my opinion. Yes, you've been doing your homework this one.
Yes, I have.
I want to just moisturize it, and it's really going to help to hydrate the hair before I even get started. And I think that's the biggest thing. And for something like, you know, a crochet faux lock installation, I think it's really important to address all issues like before you even, you know, get into the install. So tell me, like, what are some things you noticed from the last install that I did, and how is your hair responding since now we're kind of like in winter?
Yeah, so my hair's been responding well to it. That's why I miss it. I wanted it back as soon as possible. So just having it and following the regimen of putting the oils in and like massaging the scalp, like it really helped my hair grow pretty quickly, which I was surprised by. So my goal is just to keep doing protective styles until I get my hair to the length where, you know, maybe I'll try locking it, you know, itself. Or part of me is also thinking like I like the flexibility of just doing the protective styles. So I'm like, I like the look of the faux lock, so why lock my own hair?
Right. Just
in case I wanted to try something else, like I would have the flexibility of doing that.
So like what oils and like moisturizers are you finding that really kind of work for you?
Jojoba oil gives me life.
Yeah, I'm telling the girls, like that's a big thing.
It's really good. I also like avocado oil. I think it keeps my scalp moist the longest.
Right.
I would say the only downfall is I constantly like, I'll be at work and like randomly get a whiff. I'm like, oh wait, it smells like something's cooking. Because it has like that olive oil type of kind of scent to it.
Now, I hope you guys enjoyed the consultation in real time, but the first step is to apply this Super Grow, which has placenta, it has biotin, glycerin, so many different like great things for the natural hair when you're trying to treat the hair in order to allow it to grow. Because my client, he wants to grow his hair and potentially lock it. So I like to add that to the parting space so that it makes a cleaner part. You know, crooked parts matter, but you know, when you want your clients to return, when you want them to recommend you, refer you to others, you want to have like a really good reputation. So that is important to me. But I wanted to use braiding hair that isn't too long, and I'm going to explain that a little bit later. But honey, I recommend using very textured hair when you are working on a client who has particularly short hair. It definitely helps. And you guys can see, like, I applied so much of the My Fluffy Puffs Mango and Manoy moisturizer because his hair loves this stuff. I'm going to have the products listed in the description box, so definitely check it out. But I am going to be taking the end of the previous braid and integrating it into the braid that I'm currently doing so that it's more seamless and we're tucking the hair. With the tighter, more coily texture, you want to keep the hair very close to the moisture source. I know you probably haven't heard that. I'm really going to be dropping gems in here because I'm not playing. Always treat the scalp, treat the hair, the very ends of the hair at that. Because my client has anywhere from like type 4A, type 4B hair. I definitely wanted to integrate and incorporate as much moisture into nearly every step. And when you're adding moisture, this is a great step to detangle the hair to ensure that it's getting down to the very ends and you're evenly distributing the product. Now, I wasn't always good at braiding, you know, I'm gonna take y'all back. You know, I struggled a lot. I really took my time, but I worked at this. And if you're someone like me who, you know, really you have a passion and you want to keep going, like just look at my older videos, sis. I've come such a long way. But again, you guys can see I loved using shorter hair for this because I don't want him to have crazy long braids because I want this to be super easy when it's time for him to take his hair down. Now you guys can see I did the illusion of the individual parting for this section. I'll link a video for a more in-depth tutorial if you guys want to see how I did this. I highly recommend this if you don't want to do the individual crochet faux lock method. This one is the bomb. Now I'm closing in on the very last braid, and this one is a little bit longer because I'm going to take a smaller latch hook and basically kind of create sort of like a lattice work to crochet and thread his hair through the base of the cornrows. Because again, I want my client to find it super easy to take these down. I don't want to use thread. He's not a pro at this. Really knowing your client, what they're capable of, not to insult them, but to make sure that they're maximizing each installation. And as they get more advanced and more comfortable, then you can integrate things like, you know, sewing the hair down. But let's keep it simple for now. But y'all see the work, right? The part says yes. Though my client does not have a sensitive scalp, he's not tender-headed, I do want to go in with jojoba oil and the rosemary essential oil, and I'm going to massage this into the scalp regardless of what your client tells you. I think this is a really good practice to help stimulate blood flow, and I also want to model the type of routine I want him to have so that he can implement it in his daily routine. You know, I got to clean up the kitchen. Like, they already know, like, when I do their hair, they already expect this step. It just makes for a more clean, more polished look. Now these are sort of like a wavy, very natural looking faux lock. I'm going to have this in the description box. He purchased this from Amazon. Amazon really is coming up, sis. They have so many different vendors that offer really good quality faux locks. These are not something that have like high luster to them. It's very much like a more natural, kinkier texture to them. And you do have to be careful. Definitely wrap your hair at night with this. The loop is not as neat or like what I'm accustomed to, so I can only knot the hair about once, and really that's all you really need to do, because that creates a tighter, neater loop, and it stays that way. Because this hair is of a more kinkier, more coarse texture, you don't really have to worry about it unraveling because the hair is so silky and lustrous. I always advise that he wash his hair and soak it prior to it being installed. Like, he already knows the tea. Like, he's not new to this, he's true to this, sis. Like, I'm into it. But I use the bricklayering method, and I'm not crocheting the faux locks through the base of the cornrow. I think that is such a game changer just for like hair in general. It makes it a lot easier. I don't like the act of pushing an entire latch hook through the base of a braid unless I'm working at the perimeter with an even smaller latch hook needle. And you guys are going to see as I move throughout this install, I will be changing my latch hook, because once you get to the crown, you get more towards the perimeter hairline. You want to take those steps to make sure you're not breaking the hair. Though it may seem like it's clean in the beginning, remember, this install is going to last him anywhere from like 4 to 6 weeks, and so breakage is critical. And I am so big on the bricklayering method. You see, that's how it looks when you do it right, when you line them up correctly. It's no sense in overcrowding. I think we had about 6 to 7 bundles, and that was more than enough hair. We had so much left over. But that's how I know that my client is going to walk away with a more lightweight style. It's not heavy. There is sort of like a period in which you have to kind of acquiesce to having the install, so the hair itself is going to kind of like become more flexible and kind of mold to the head or the way in which you want it to lay, you know, when you wrap it at night. But if this is a full-time thing for you, invest in a latch hook set, and I'll link that below. It will change the game, and it'll meet different needs for different installs, because not all crochet styles are created equal. Now you guys see I'm working with a different latch hook. You know, this is tea right here. This is a gem. Switch that latch hook, protect those edges. I want growth at every level. We're gonna keep documenting this. Y'all are gonna see his hair grow. And look at the crown, like look at the individuals. It gives the illusion of individuals. Like, I really did that. I will say this is the more tedious part of this install. It gets on my nerves, but again, I will link the video for a more in-depth tutorial to walk you guys through it in the description box. But do you guys see the texture of the locks? Ooh, this is perfect. Yes, I'm gonna have to text him and see where he got this hair from. Like, what's the vendor? I'm already feeling it. He's in love. You saw it, you know, he falls asleep when I do his hair because he says it's like so relaxing. So he really loves this step. I always ask him, like, you know, how does your scalp feel? Do you think I should oil it again? And he's like, you know, I love that step. So we always do it, and I massage and work the oils into the scalp. So how is my client looking? Tell me in the comment section below. Would you like to see more videos of me, you know, behind the scenes, you know, getting down, doing my work? Let me know in the comment section below. I love you guys so much, and thank you for just watching my growth. Remember, I started out just like you guys, and I just stuck with it. So be sure to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, kiki with me in the comments, and share this with your homegirls, your homeboys. I do all types of hair. Bye.